Let me show you how to fix this hole. Super easy. Couple minutes, you're done. So first I'm going to use my square to trace a square around my circle with a pencil. After that, I'm going to use my razor and I'm going to cut that out. You could also use a drywall knife, which might be a little easier, but I have a razor, so I'm going to use this. After I cut this square out, I'm going to then take my tape measure and I'm going to measure the square. After I measure the square, I'm going to take a piece of drywall and I'm going to cut another square out. But the square I cut out, I'm going to cut that an inch bigger all the way around. So if my square is like 5 inches by 5.5 inches, then the piece I'm cutting out is going to be 6 inches by 6.5 inches. After we cut this piece out, we're then going to flip it over and we're going to cut the back side the exact size of the square. So the back side is going to be 5 by 5.5. Our whole piece is 6 by 6.5. So on this back side, break it in half, so a 1/2 inch on each side of the back side, we're going to cut off all the way around. Then we're going to peel it off. And when you peel it off, make sure to get all the drywall off the paper, because if you don't, it's going to stick out. Alright, so take your piece of drywall and fit it right into that square. After that, we're going to clean up real quick, and then we're going to mud. Alright, so now we're going to apply our drywall mud, which we're going to apply at least 3 coats, thin coats. Our first coat, we're going to make sure to get the drywall mud underneath this whole lip, a thin, even coat all the way underneath throughout. After you get that pressed against the wall, if you notice any bubbles, which you'll notice here, I peel it off a little and add a little more mud and then press it back down. After you do that, go ahead and let the mud dry for at least 2 hours, I would say. You can put a fan on it to speed the process up. Now after that dries, we're going to go ahead and add another coat of mud. This second coat is also going to be a thin coat. If you have anything poking up, make sure to knock it down before you apply this coat, or any coats. So go ahead and apply another coat, let that one dry for a little while. After it dries, we're going to come back and we're going to apply some more mud. So while I was letting that dry, I noticed the nail sticking out of the drywall a little bit. So I went and took a hammer and a drill bit and I just knocked that a little bit below the surface of the drywall in order to put some mud on it. Because if I didn't and I put the mud over it, you're still going to see the mark on the wall. So any marks, make sure to remove them or knock them below the surface before adding mud. So here I'm using a piece of extra fine sandpaper to knock any edges down before I add my final coat. And then after my final coat, I'm going to use an extra fine sand pad for my finish. Alright, so that's it. It was super easy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to get more videos on how to improve your home and save a lot of money doing it.